we are going to learn how to create bell curve in Excel. For example, so whenever you give a value, for example, I'm just keep changing the z value, you can see, and automatically the graph getting updated, right? How to create it. So what are the things which we are going to learn in this video is that there are 6 elements we are going to learn. First, we are going to learn how to calculate the normal distribution. What is the difference between, there are two formula used in Excel. One is normal, standard normal distribution. One is normal distribution. And why we need to keep the density function as false, right? Density function, in other word, it is represent as false, right? That we are going to learn. And why a normal distribution curve, when you pick the value -3, you will get the same value as +3. Similarly, you can take any number, for example, -1 or +1 or -9, +9, you will get the same value. And then the third element what we are going to discuss today is that z value. So z value, we're going to have it in the scroll bar. So whenever the value get changed, automatically the graph get updated. For example, I'm just moving the directly here, you can see automatically the graph is updated, right? So this we are going to do it and plot the graph, compare the normal under the area graph, right? We are going to add the series for z. And not only that, we are going back to the normal distribution, and now we are going to pick, to add the series, we are going to pick the cumulative distribution frequency, and why to do that and all that we are going to learn. And then finally we are going to achieve the bell curve. Not only that, we can get the good formatting, and then we can tweak it as per our requirement. So I'm going to create the same chart, same Excel, same the same sheet we're gonna create now. You can see here what I'm doing it. I'm just creating the new sheet altogether, brand new, and I will say X value. In X value, what I will do, I will just go with the -3 first, and then there are a couple of ways we can achieve the X values, like -3 to +3. One, you can give like -3. The next value is -2.9, and then you can drag it up to +3. You can drag it, you will get 60 points, right? Up to +3, I'm just dragging it till here. Yeah, so you got this value, right? So this is -3 to +3, we got it. Another way to achieve is, of course, you can just write down -3, and then you can just add this value with zero point 0.1. You will get this one, and then you can simply drag that value. Either way you can do it. So now let me delete this one. What we are going to find out is that p of x, right? In other word, normal distribution we are going to find out. So normal distribution also, you have two value, right? So two functions we are going to use it. So first function, you can use it like either way you can use it. Let's say I'm just using normal distribution, right? Because I'm considering this as a z value, and here I'm going to give false. Probability density function, it will return, right? So it will return probability density functions. I'm just giving k, comma, and just selecting false. Yeah, give okay. So this value you can see here, it has given. So all I can do is I can double click. So all the values has been applied till the row number 62. What I mean by, if you look at, if you notice that the value will be very identical. Take any value. For example, I'm just taking -3 to +3. You'll have the same value, right? Exactly in the same thing. You can take any number. I'm just randomly taking some number, point minus 2.6, and then 2.6. You'll get the same value, right? Okay. So this is no, we have used a formula called Norm.S.Dist distribution. Even if you use other formula, for example, normal distribution, let's assume that you have, the mean value, the standard deviations and all that, right? So it will return the same value. For example, x, in this case, this is the x value. Mean mean we have taken the scenario where mean is always zero, right, center, and then standard deviation is one. When you say normal, in ideal case, normal distribution always follows mean equal to zero, standard deviation equal to one. The same we have learned in Minitab also, right? And similarly, how I have given the false, I can still give the false, and I can give both way, it will be the same, right? If you check this here, this equal to this, we can do. So whenever we have a actual data, in both the cases we can work. Whenever we have an actual data, our mean will not be ideally zero. Our standard deviation will not be ideally zero, right? So therefore, we might tend to use some other formula, right? So therefore, so whenever you in this particular one, both formula works. Ideally, we can go for this one, and largely you might be using this formula with different mean and standard deviation value. So this is not required because just to check we have done it. Let me delete this one. Now what I need is area, right? Z value, because Z value, how we can achieve it. To do that, we can, because we I wanted to show you how, when you scroll, when you reduce the when you adjust the X value, how Z value gets adjusted, that I'm going to show. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go to developer tab, right, and go to insert, and you can pick this scroll bar form control. I'm just keeping here. You can adjust it accordingly. Okay, so this couple of things we need to do. Just right click on this, go to format, or I can just move it here because I might have to drag that value, so I will keep it here. So just keep go here, right click, and then format control. In the format control, current value, let it be, and the minimum we can give as 10, and maximum we can give as 70, because we have a 61 value, so 70 is fine. Increment is 1 and page is 10, change is 10, and I'm going to keep the value over here. Okay, give okay. Okay, now if you see here, whenever I'm just doing it at any change, right? By click, when you do, it will go by 10, or if you want very accurately, like you can do here. So either way, it works here, right? So now this is done. So for more calculation, we need to do, okay, this value, whatever this value, we are going to divide by 10, because it has be, when you say magnitude is 10, and by minus 4. Why minus 4? 0, 1, 2, 3. This one alone you need to remember, right? Once it is done, and this is not required, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to keep this in white font so that it is not visible. So this value will be important to us, right? We are going to show. So for example, if I'm just showing it minus 3, this is the value I'm just referring here. So, okay. So we'll see why it is important and all that. We'll see in upcoming, in the, now we will see how it is changing it. Okay, let's apply the formula for area. So here what I'm going to do is that I'm going to apply the formula called if. If formula, if this X value less than or equal to this value, right, and this value is going to be I mean absolute reference, right? Always we will be dynamically changing it and all that, so I'm going to apply the F4 so that it will become absolute reference. And if this condition is true, then I'm just asking Excel to return normal distribution. If not, just keep it blank, right? Okay, okay. So I'm just dragging this formula. right? Now you see you don't find any value, because logically if you see here, I'm just keeping like -3. If I'm just giving like -2, until -2 values have come. If I give like -1 value have come, and then like this same value will come, right? So now let me keep it in the maximum bar, so that we can see all the values we got for z also as well. Okay, this is done. So once it is done, directly we can apply the now what is the next action is that this is nothing but, for us it's nothing but z value, right? I'll just mention here, this is z value. Once it is done, what I will do, I will just go to insert and go to graph. In the graph, it is giving different format, like this is one format, and this is one format, right? And this is one format, all that, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to all chart, and in the all chart I'm going to go under area. In the area I'm going to pick this chart, this particular chart, double click on this chart is ready, right? So the title I'm going to give, this is my title. I will keep the cursor here. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is my title, and you can see here, this is beautiful bell curve have come, right? Now, what it is says that now if you right click on this and go to format cell, no, first we'll see whether all the axes been added. So for that, I'm just going to select the data, and you can see a normal distribution has been added, and then area is also been added. Fantastic, right? So both has been added. If not added, what you can do, you can basically add it. For example, let's assume that first you have only two value. Example, ideally you need to have only these two value, right? You have two value, go to insert, and you can just go this way or this way or this way or this way, like horizontal, like control chart, right? Or I'm preferring for area chart. Under area you have this one, right? So this one you can do. So this is normal distribution has been there. Now what I'm doing it, I'm just making sure that this is not moving around. I'm going to property and do not move or size with cell. I'm happy with this size. Let's say I'll keep it here. So do not move with this size. I'm just keeping here. Let me just do little bit formatting now. Okay, yeah. So I will lock this one now. Okay. Do not move or size with the cell. Okay. Now this is done. So this is, remember we have taken X value. I'm just giving control B so that all the values have become bold, and you have different options to do it here. You can just select this or customize if you want. We can also do all that, right? And in any value, select dot, or if you want like this, you can do all that, right? Okay, so this is now we have got this value. One more time, what I'm doing it, I'm just selecting the graph, and then control B, it became bold, right? You can hear 0 and this one. If you want to keep that line, you can also do that. You can select this chart. So you can select this. Okay, we'll see that. Okay, so now this is almost done. Remember that is x-axis and this is y-axis. So I'm just right clicking it, going to select data, and now only normal distribution is there. X is the x value and normal distribution is there. I'm going to add this one, and I'm going to add area. This is the area, and the values are all the way from here to down. Give OK and give OK. So you can see this has been updated because we are keeping the z value as 3. So it's not having any differences here. If you see it, I'm just keeping the value somewhere here. Okay, you can see here. So the values are getting updated, right? For example, let's say this one, what I can do, I can put this in the percentage also. How to do in percentage is that, let's say The formula I'm going to use now is a different formula I'm going to use. Normal distribution, same formula, right? So same formula I'm going to use, like this is my z value and comma, and now I'm going to return as cumulative distribution frequency. Okay, okay. And this is, let's say this one, what I will do, I will just keep it in the percentage. I'll give the same color just for better understanding. Okay, I will match the same color. Okay, and make it, I will make it bold. This is 21 percentage, right? For example, let's say if you see here, automatically, let's say if I go for 50 percentage, right? Perfectly, right? And this z value 50 percentage, 50 percentage is this one and this one. And similarly, if you just keep going z value, increase the z value, the area is getting largely covered with z value, right? And then the maximum I can go like 3 if I go, right? I think this all 100, 2.9 itself, all 100% is being covered because we are giving only one, two decimal. If you increase, still you can go to 99.87. Almost all the areas been covered. So furthermore, if I just decrease it or increase it, right, we can easily do that. For example, not only that, if we give over zero point 0.3, it is just keeping cursor on zero point 0.3. Anything decimal value, I can keep it here. 2, right? I mean 2.9, you can see 2.9 values. If I want 2.8, they can see here 2 point value area has been covered. So you can see here tiny one. And then I'm just keeping the cursor here. Now this will move 0.28 to 1.8, right? Because this is like decimal, this is jump by almost 10 points, right? So you can see here, and then you can automatically it gets updated. Fantastic, right? So I hope you find it very, very useful. We covered all the agenda which we talked about it. One, we learn what is a normal distribution, and standard deviation distribution, why we need to use false, and why normal distribution curve is same value it is returning. And we learn how to create the scroll bar, and then how to create the graph, and adding the area graph we learn. And then and we also learn the back to normal distribution, we did the format and all that, right? Still, if you want to change the graph, you still you can go ahead, and you can still go ahead and do the changes also to the graph also as well, right? But we are happy with this bell curve, and it looks great. And if you want further tweaking, we can do that. So next video will be coming up with the actual value. Here we have given like -3 to +3. We It is already standard deviation is 0. Sorry, standard deviation is 1 and mean is 0. We'll also will take the actual case, and we'll see how to plot the similar, the same approach we are going to apply, how to plot the bell curve and how to have the z value, everything. So right, I hope you find it useful. Please do like, share, subscribe my channel. You have wonderful day ahead.